Casey.
What? We were in math class, and Mr. Harrison, our teacher, was at the front talking in a monotone about differentiating trigonometric functions. After this, there was only one class left before the end of the day.
It was my 5th day, and I had already managed to make some good friends, Damien being one of them. Being related to Addison had a lot to do with it. I never expected to be friends with such a popular group.
Damien slipped a small note onto my desk, landing it right on my textbook. I took it and unfolded it. We're going to the ice cream shop after school. You want to come?
The first question that came to my mind was, who is this we? Even though I sat with the popular teenagers, I wasn't safe from critical eyes. In fact, being with them put me more in the spotlight. I hated attention because I never received any positive kind, especially since that day. I didn't want to be in a crowd that would stare, snigger, or point at me, and some of the people Damien and Addison hung out with tended to be like that. I looked up, and my eyes unconsciously drifted to Ethan, who was sitting on the other side of Damien. His narrowed eyes were already trained on me, expressing displeasure at my mere existence. Unable to bear the intensity of his gaze, I lowered my eyes back to the note. I knew that whoever we referred to would definitely include Ethan. He and Damien were always together, and I really didn't understand how someone as nice as Damien could be best friends with the son of Satan himself.
I don't know. Addison is the one who takes me home, I wrote on the back of the paper before sliding it back on Damien's desk. Once again, my gaze shifted to Ethan, and his eyes were now trained on Damien. Uncomfortable barely described what I felt every time I was in math with them. Damien always tried to include me in their conversations, but Ethan's casual insults always shut me out.
Last time, Damien had asked me for help with a problem on an assignment I had already completed at home. But the moment I picked up my pen, I became fully aware of Ethan's eyes on us. He was leaning nonchalantly against the desk directly in front of me, and all coherent thought disappeared. I found myself staring at the sheet in a complete blank.
You're fat and stupid. Like a pig. I should call you Cochonou.
And that's how the name Cochonou stuck. I wanted to tell him that he was the stupid one, because pigs are actually among the smartest domestic animals. But that wouldn't have helped. He would have just come back with an even crueler insult. Damien, being the good guy he was, had come to my defense, but the damage was already done. A piece of paper fell into my lap, bringing me back to reality. Ask Addison to come too. We will have fun. Please, please, please. I turned my head and saw Damien giving me an exaggerated pout. I had to bite my lip to stifle a laugh. I didn't expect the school's star quarterback to pout like a child and look so cute. I started to scribble a reply when the bell rang.
You need to come.
I'm not sure. Addison has practice after school, and I'll be in the library working on my English homework.
If Addison isn't free, then at least you should come. It's not just us. Lola and Sadvi are coming too.
But my work?
It's the beginning of the year. Don't drown yourself in studies just yet. You'll have many months for that. For now, you should enjoy your senior year. So you're coming, right?
Okay.
Meet in the parking lot after class.
Pig. Don't you have a computer class, or is flirting with Damien more important?
My face fell at the accusation, and a deep blush covered my cheeks. Damien glared at him.
Don't waste your breath, Ethan. He will never fall for a girl like you.
It felt like Ethan was on a mission to destroy everything good in my life, including my friendship with Damien. He had already reminded me countless times that I wasn't good enough for his friend, even though I wasn't even interested in Damien that way. I never took Damien's kindness for anything other than friendship.
You know what, Ethan?
I wouldn't mind being with Casey. She's beautiful, intelligent, and above all, she's not stupid like you. In fact, I'd be lucky if she ever dated me.
I looked at him, speechless and horrified. What did he just say?
Don't expect me to pull you out when you're crushed under the cow.
I looked at Ethan and visibly flinched at the look he was giving Damien.
As if he knew I was watching, he turned to me, a wicked smile distorting his face.
Damn it, Ethan. You're going too far.
I have to go.
I muttered, storming out without looking back. The second the other students looked at us, it became too much. I couldn't face the humiliation. I heard Damien calling after me, but I was too vulnerable to face him. I hurried to the computer lab.
I sat down at my assigned spot and took a deep breath. My hands and legs were shaking, and my vision was blurring with tears. Don't you dare cry because of that asshole. No!
I bet Ethan didn't realize how much words hurt, especially when you hear them over and over. Big, cow, pig, whale. There comes a point where you can no longer ignore them. They start to stick, eating away at your self-esteem. I took deep breaths, looking at the ceiling to keep the tears from falling. I wasn't going to lose my temper in the middle of the computer lab.
I heard the chair next to me move, and a large body slumped lazily into it. I didn't look at him, refusing to acknowledge his presence.
At least turn on the computer if you plan to stare at it.
My cheeks reddened when I realized I was staring at a blank screen. Kill me now. I immediately pressed the power button to avoid further embarrassment. I felt his eyes on me, as always, trying to make me sweat. But today, I was too angry to give him the satisfaction. Suddenly, my skin tingled. The intensity of his gaze had increased. I guessed it pissed him off that he wasn't getting a reaction. Good.
Looks like my pig is mad at me.
I can't say I don't like it when it makes you blush. Pink suits you. It confirms my theory that you are indeed a pig.
I blushed even more. I wanted to grab his head and slam it against the screen. Instead, I took a notebook out of my bag, pretending he wasn't there.
I'm being ignored, right? Well, do as you wish.
And I did. I ignored him as if he never existed. Strangely, he decided to do the same. A few minutes later, our professor arrived and started the lesson on web design. My bad mood was temporarily pushed aside as I listened, already familiar with the HTML tags she mentioned. I had worked with my father on several occasions, helping him design websites to lighten his workload. Miss Green covered the basics, and the fact that I was already light years ahead flattered my ego. With 15 minutes left, she gave us a small project to design a table. I wrote my code in 2 minutes. I thought about adding CSS colors to pass the time, but decided against it. It was best not to look too smart before the teacher had even covered those lessons.
Shit!
A quiet curse came from beside me. My nemesis was still there. I couldn't help but glance at him. He stared at his screen, lips pursed in concentration. Even though I hated him, I couldn't deny he was beautiful. What a waste. Such a beautiful appearance ruined by a rotten personality. I glanced at his screen and slyly read his code. He hadn't used closing tags. He used the wrong heading tags, and his spacing was a mess. I was inwardly jubilant at his blunders. Before he could catch me, I turned back, biting my lip to hide a smirk. Stupid asshole.
You need to work harder, Ethan.
Ethan only nodded with a scowl.
Good job, Casey.
Thank you. Soon the bell rang. I grabbed my bag and rushed out, wanting to avoid another encounter. After locking my things in my locker, I leaned my head against the cool metal. I didn't want to go for ice cream anymore. I was exhausted. I didn't want to face Ethan, and I didn't even want to see Damien after the awkward things he had said. I decided to text Damien that I wasn't coming, then hide in the library until Addison was ready. I pulled out my phone and started walking, scrolling for his name. Suddenly, I was pulled backward, nearly slipping. An embarrassing squeak escaped my mouth.
Where are you going, Koshono? The parking lot is the other way.